everyone and welcome to Ultimate Clash channel. So today we are back with some Clash Royale content and we're gonna be doing the top 3 best meta decks that are available right now for you. So this one basically is pretty decent. As you know, the Prince is boosted right now. So it's a Megaknight Prince deck with, of course, the mix of Miner, Skeleton Barrel, and those bats. And you've got the Goblin Gang, of course, as defense, and Electro Wizard, just to reset everything up in case you need it. There's also this deck also that we're gonna be playing, which is a Golem beatdown deck, new version, of course, with the Dark Prince, and which is pretty much meta right now. Also, you got the NATO, you got Night Witch, so everything basically to punish the other guy. And last but not least, again another Megaknight deck. Instead of the Prince this time, we're gonna get the Spear Goblins, and we're gonna get Inferno Dragons instead of the Ewiz. Everything else is pretty much the same as the first one. So basically did some friendly challenge with Jackal Gaming here. So he just joined the clan right now. We're doing a little bit of a collab right now for that. And that's basically what happened. So let's jump into the first replay. So here I was basically facing a Logbake deck, which can be really stressful, or basically against a Golem deck. So I did start slowly. Like, if you're playing that deck, guys, the Golem one beat down, make sure to don't start rushing with your Golem in the back in single elixir mode, right? That's the key and success to that deck. There's so much fast cycling card in there with the Barrel there, Dragon, and Ice Wiz and Night Witch. So you need to cycle everything up. Don't Here pro play here. NATO at the tower, so King Tower is activated right now. So this is pretty decent, right? So the Goblin Barrel, basically, I'm not scared of it anymore. At that point, I really thought about putting Night Witch or basically the Lightning to do some tower damage. But I decided to go Night Witch. He did rocket it. At that point I was like, okay, that's fine. He's really playing a Logbait deck, because at first I didn't know that. I didn't have that info. We did start the battle without telling each other what deck we were using. We only basically set our goals to one thing, which is bring the best deck we can think of. And of course, Logbait is still in the meta right now, right? And it's pretty strong also. So here we go. So I'm pushing on the right line there. I'm just waiting basically for that time to experience there. And now I see they put down the Inferno Tower and ×2 Elixir is coming up. So I don't need to bother with this Goblin Barrel on the left. So I just let it slide away and I start my right push there. So at that point, he's rocketing there. And so I'm just getting started with that rate. So basically here, here's the lightning. See that? Nice lightning value there. I reset the Inferno Tower, basically killed it. Killed the princess and did everything that it need to. So here, with the prince, you get some awesome value with the NATO, because you can bring everything together just to make it damage there. And at that point I'm like one lightning away from the victory, so I'm like, it's GG. I know I've won this. So just in case he ties us up, I'm starting a push on the left lane and I'm getting my lightning ready, and I'm gonna use it right now. And game over, GG. So that's the first deck basically, guys. So this is of course meta ladder deck that you can try if you want to go push in some ladder and challenges also. And next up is this deck, basically the one with the Ewiz and the Megaknight. So as you can see, we're facing also another Megaknight deck here. So I'm starting, of course, this one. It's not a double elixir deck very much, so you start as fast as you can. So I started right away with the skeleton barrel. That's like the no-brainer move that you can do. Skeleton barrel at the bridge. There, I didn't knew he had that Megaknight, of course. Now I know the information, so I've got to be careful on that. So I'm putting the he-whiz there. I'm gonna have to defend with the prince. I just zap and let the miner do his work on my left tower and see what he has. So again, he's playing with some goblins there, so I tell him well played because he did stop me well. He's in the lead so far. So as always, skeleton barrel at the bridge is a no-brainer. So let's do it. You get guaranteed damage on the tower whatsoever, except if the people has buildings. So that's an easy way to think of the play. I'm gonna put some bats here for that Megaknight and my own Megaknight also, just to make sure that he doesn't jump on my tower, zap everything up, and counter push is coming. Is going with his Infernal Dragon. I'm pretty okay with it since I have the Electro Wizard in hand. Miner's coming up, so I'm just gonna put it in the back a little bit. So basically, this both troops were targeted. I get the E-Wiz that gave me such great value on that defense there, and again, skeleton barrel at the bridge. So it's like an AUG deck basically, where you spam the AUG at the bridge. So that's basically the same thing, but with a skeleton barrel. That's how I would say it. So at that point, I'm like, okay, I need to defend this. Prince to defend because it's a great value. Going with the zap, with the he-whiz to reset everything up. So I just counter his push perfectly there. Skeleton barrel basically because he's pretty much out of elixir, and I knew at that point that he didn't have zap because he used it earlier. So I'm like, this is the time to do it. And the only issue with that deck, as you'll see of course, is the fact that you don't have any like ice spells like rocket, lightning, or all that stuff to finish him off. So you really need to do either splash damage or tower damage directly with troops. So you gotta be careful with that, guys, because you can be in the lead, but an overtime of 2 minutes can be really long. So here we go, and game over. So if you're playing that deck, just be careful with that basically, because you can't control that fact. So, and last replay, last but not least, is the one with the Megaknight and the Infernal Dragon. So to be honest, basically all those decks chosen were completely random. So far basically it's really a nice combo. Every choice that I made was pretty much good against him. Good counters. When he had the Inferno, had the E-Wiz, now he has the Giant, have the Inferno, so yeah. So here we go, left lane completely protected, right lane same thing. So at that point I saw the Giant, so the only thing I can do is basically spam those bats because they do some decent damage, and those little goblins there since the arrows went down. So I'm starting the raid right now. As you can see, nice placement right there of this skeleton barrel. It did protect from the musketeer hits, and that's gonna give me the tower there. So of course that skeleton can be used basically to defend your weak troops so that he gets targeted instead of them. Of course, if you're facing some ground troops, well, it's not gonna work. But every troops that targets air or bolt, ground and air, it's gonna work. So now I'm thinking, alright, let's go for the second tower there. So I'm gonna put the Megaknight in the middle, like offensive, really. He's putting the archers there. And let's jump on the tower. I'm gonna put a little zap here for those skeletons to die, so I get some more value of that push, because he put the fireball, of course. If he hadn't put the fireball, I wouldn't have done that. But with the fireball, that was a 4 elixir card, so I thought like I can put 2 more. So at that point, game is pretty much done. I just need to focus on not giving away like easy mistakes that can like prevent me from winning basically. At that point, Megaknight on the right was an easy choice. Every time you want to see that, every time basically you're facing a deck that has the witch, you want to keep your Megaknight for that card, because it can be real painful if you don't keep it. And here, as you see, tower number 2 is going down. So at that point I use Megaknight because, well, it's over. I just want to protect my first tower basically, and I almost got the last tower. That's what I was going to say earlier. 653, so that was pretty close to being a 3 crown, guys. So I'm gonna show you one last time basically the 3 decks basically. So this one, the last one that we saw, that's the second replay there with the prince, and of course you got the golem beatdown, which is this one. So hope you like it, guys. Leave a like, subscribe, and don't forget this collab is brought to you by Ultimate Class and Jackal Gaming. Have a nice one. Bye bye.